The silent harvest captain Marcus Webb never imagined his morning coffee would be interrupted by the end of human civilization as he knew it. The security chief of Kepler 442b mining station was reviewing routine patrol reports when the first plasma bolt struck the outer defensive grid. The asteroid mining colony housed 8,000 souls, mostly families of miners and researchers who had spent 3 years carving precious metals from the heart of this floating rock. Dr. Olivia Kane, the station's xenobiologist, was in her laboratory studying mineral samples when the emergency klaxons began their haunting wail. "All personnel to emergency stations." Webb's voice echoed through the corridors as he rushed to the command center. His years as a former Earth military officer kicked in, but nothing had prepared him for what he saw on the tactical displays. Massive ships, each the size of a city block, surrounded their tiny outpost. The vessels were unlike anything in human databases, organic curves mixed with crystalline technology that pulsed with an otherworldly light. These were the Vorthak, an empire that had been quietly observing humanity for decades, waiting for the perfect moment to begin their harvest. Engineer Tom Bradley frantically worked at his control station, sweat beading on his forehead as he tried to boost the station's shields. "Captain, these aren't random raiders," he shouted over the sound of explosions. "Their targeting is too precise, too coordinated. They're systematically destroying our escape routes." Dr. Kane burst into the command center, her lab coat still stained with mineral dust. "The communication array is down, but I managed to record something before we lost contact with the outer sensors. Marcus, these aliens, they're not just attacking us, they're harvesting us." Through the reinforced windows, they could see Vorthak soldiers moving through the destroyed sections of the station. The aliens were tall, insectoid creatures with 4 arms and compound eyes that reflected the station's emergency lighting like mirrors. They moved with clinical efficiency, capturing humans alive rather than simply eliminating them. "Why are they taking prisoners?" Bradley asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Webb studied the tactical display showing escape pod after escape pod being disabled by precise energy beams. "Because we're not enemies to them," he realized with growing horror. "We're resources." The station shuddered as another wave of plasma fire struck the main habitat domes. Emergency bulkheads sealed automatically, but Webb knew they were buying time, not salvation. He activated the quantum communications array, Earth's most advanced long-range transmission system. "This is Captain Marcus Webb of Kepler Mining Station 442b. He spoke into the recorder, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. "We are under attack by an unknown alien force. They call themselves the Vorthak Empire. 8,000 civilians are trapped here, and our defenses are failing." Dr. Kane grabbed his arm. "Marcus, the life support systems in sections C through F are failing. We need to evacuate everyone to the deep core bunkers." The captain nodded, then continued his transmission. "To whoever receives this message, know that humanity faced something beyond our understanding today. We fought with everything we had, but we were not prepared. The Vorthak technology is centuries ahead of ours. They're not conquering us, they're collecting us." As the final evacuation alarm sounded, Webb looked at his small team of survivors. They had maybe an hour before the Vorthak breached the deep bunkers, an hour to say goodbye to the life they had known. "Tell Earth," he added to his transmission, "that 8,000 people died here today defending human freedom. Tell them that when they come for our homeworld, humanity must be ready to show them what we're truly capable of." The transmission ended just as the lights went out, leaving them in the cold darkness of space. The Underground War General Patricia Morse stood in the depths of Earth Defense Command, her weathered face illuminated by the glow of holographic displays showing humanity's darkest hour. The transmission from Kepler 442b had arrived 3 days ago, and since then, 17 more colonies had gone silent across the outer rim. "Ma'am, we're receiving fragmentary signals from the Kepler system," reported Lieutenant Rodriguez, his voice tight with concentration. "It appears some survivors are still fighting." Deep beneath the shattered mining station, Captain Rico Vasquez pressed his back against the cold asteroid rock, listening to the sound of Vorthak soldiers searching the tunnels above. What the aliens hadn't counted on was humanity's greatest talent. the ability to adapt and survive in impossible conditions. Vasquez had been a tunnel rat in Earth's underground wars before joining the colonial service. Now those skills were keeping 43 survivors alive in the maze of mining shafts that honeycombed the asteroid's core. The Vorthak, despite their advanced technology, struggled in the confined spaces where their superior numbers meant nothing. "Rico, they're setting up some kind of scanning device in Tunnel 7, whispered Dr. Kane, crawling through the narrow maintenance shaft that connected their hiding spots. Her xenobiology training had become invaluable as she studied the alien invaders, learning their weaknesses. "Their exoskeletons can't handle the tight spaces," she continued, "and their compound eyes don't adjust well to our infrared lighting. We can use that." Vasquez nodded, checking his improvised weapons. Mining charges converted into grenades, industrial tools turned into close combat implements. "Tom, how are those communication repairs coming?" Engineer Bradley looked up from a tangle of salvaged electronics. "I've managed to boost the signal using the asteroid's mineral deposits as a natural amplifier. If I can reach Earth Defense Command, we might be able to coordinate something." On Earth, General Morse received the fragmentary transmission from the Kepler survivors. The message was broken, filled with static, but the content was clear. Humans were fighting back against impossible odds and they needed help that traditional military doctrine couldn't provide. "Activate Project Prometheus," Morse commanded, her decision weighing heavy on her shoulders. It's time to find out if 20 years of captured alien technology research was worth the investment. Project Prometheus had been humanity's most classified program, born from the wreckage of early alien encounters that the public never knew about. Deep in the lunar shipyards, the UES Prometheus waited, a vessel that looked nothing like traditional human warships. Its hull incorporated Vorthak biometallurgy, its engines used quantum phase manipulation, and its weapon systems operated on principles that human scientists barely understood. Back in the tunnels of Kepler 442b, Vasquez led his small band of survivors in their desperate guerrilla campaign. They had learned to move like ghosts through the mining shafts, striking at isolated Vorthak patrols and vanishing before reinforcements could arrive. "The beauty of fighting in tunnels," Vasquez explained to his team as they prepared another ambush, "is that superior technology doesn't mean much when you can't maneuver. These aliens are used to conquering species in open warfare. They've never faced humans who refuse to fight fair." Dr. Kane had made a disturbing discovery during her observations of their captors. "Rico, I don't think the Vorthak see this as a war at all. To them, we're just another resource to be harvested efficiently. They're not even angry when we fight back. They're just puzzled." War Prime Zelthar observed the human resistance from his command ship with something approaching curiosity. In 3 centuries of conquest, the Vortic Empire had subjugated 47 species, and none had exhibited this particular behavioral pattern. Most civilizations either surrendered when faced with overwhelming force or fought heroically in the open before accepting defeat. Humans did neither. They disappeared underground, turned their industrial equipment into weapons, and fought with a viciousness that served no tactical purpose that Zelthar could identify. They seemed to prefer dying in the tunnels to accepting capture, which made no logical sense from a survival perspective. "Deploy the tunnel-clearing charges," Zelthar commanded his subordinates. "If the humans wish to die in their burrows, we will accommodate them." But as the Vorthak prepared their assault on the deep tunnels, something unexpected appeared on their long-range sensors. A single human vessel was approaching the Kepler system, moving faster than any ship in their databases suggested human technology could achieve. Admiral Catherine Stone stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, watching the tactical display show the Vorthak fleet surrounding the asteroid mining station. Her ship represented humanity's greatest gamble, a fusion of human ingenuity and captured alien technology that had taken 20 years to perfect. "All systems green, Admiral," reported Lieutenant Commander James Park from the weapons station. "The quantum phase cannons are charged and ready." Stone studied the enemy formation with the eye of a veteran strategist. The Vorthak had positioned their ships in a standard harvesting pattern, designed to efficiently capture resources rather than fight a war. They weren't expecting resistance at this level. "Signal the survivors in the tunnels," Stone commanded. Tell them that Earth's children are coming home. The message reached Vasquez just as the Vorthak tunnel charges began detonating around them. Through the static and chaos, he heard words that seemed impossible. The cavalry was coming, and humanity was about to show the galaxy what happened when you cornered the wrong species. The Reckoning. The UES Prometheus emerged from quantum phase space like a predator materializing from the void. Admiral Catherine Stone watched as her ship's unprecedented technology registered on Vorthak sensors, causing confusion and alarm throughout their fleet formation. "Admiral, the alien ships are attempting to reposition," Lieutenant Commander James Park reported from his weapons station. "Their formation suggests they've never encountered anything like our vessel before." Stone studied the tactical display with cold satisfaction. 20 years of reverse engineering captured alien technology had led to this moment. The Prometheus wasn't just a human warship, it was evolution in action, representing humanity's ability to take whatever the universe threw at them and make it stronger. Deep in the asteroid tunnels, Captain Rico Vasquez felt the entire mining station shudder as massive energy discharges lit up space around them. Through Bradley's improvised communication system, they could hear transmissions from the approaching human vessel. "This is Admiral Stone of the UES Prometheus to all Kepler survivors. Stay in the deep tunnels. We're about to show these aliens why you don't mess with Earth's children." Dr. Kane pressed her face against a crack in the tunnel wall, peering through the asteroid's transparent aluminum viewport. What she saw defied everything she knew about human technology. The Prometheus moved through space like a living thing, its biometallic hull shifting and adapting as Vorthak plasma bolts struck it harmlessly. War Prime Zelthar observed the human vessel with growing alarm. His tactical computers couldn't identify the ship's technology signature. The vessel appeared to be using Vorthak quantum phase manipulation, but enhanced beyond anything in the Empire's databases. "How is this possible?" Zelthar demanded of his science officers. "Our intelligence indicated human technology was centuries behind our own. War Prime, the vessel appears to be using our own biometallurgy combined with unknown human modifications. It's as if they took our technology and somehow made it better." The first exchange of fire between the Prometheus and the Vorthak fleet was unlike anything recorded in galactic warfare. The human ship's quantum phase cannons didn't just penetrate Vorthak shields, they bypassed them entirely, striking targets on multiple dimensional phases simultaneously. Lieutenant Commander Park watched his weapons display with grim satisfaction as Vorthak vessels began disappearing in brilliant flashes of contained energy. "Admiral, their shield technology is useless against our phase-shifted weaponry. We're cutting through their fleet like they're not even there." But Stone knew the real battle was just beginning. "Target their command vessel. It's time to have a conversation with whoever's in charge of this harvesting operation." The Prometheus translated through quantum space, appearing directly alongside Zelthar's flagship. The massive human warship dwarfed the Vorthak vessel, its adaptive hull gleaming with an otherworldly light that seemed to pulse with contained power. "Vorthak command vessel." Stone's voice cut through every communication channel in the alien fleet. "This is Admiral Catherine Stone of the United Earth Systems. You made a mistake when you decided to harvest human colonies." In the tunnels below, Vasquez and his survivors listened to the exchange with growing amazement. The human admiral's voice carried an authority that spoke of absolute confidence in her capabilities. "You see," Stone continued, her transmission reaching Zelthar directly, "humanity has a particular talent. When faced with superior technology, we don't just adapt, we improve on it. Your biometallurgy is impressive, but we made it better. Your quantum phase manipulation is advanced, but we enhanced it beyond your understanding." War Prime Zelthar activated his own communication systems, his compound eyes reflecting the tactical displays showing his fleet being systematically dismantled. "Human Admiral, your species will be consumed by the Empire. We have conquered 47 civilizations across 3 galaxies." Stone's laughter echoed across the communication channels, cold and confident. "And that's your problem, Zelthar. You've been conquering civilizations that surrendered when faced with superior force. You've never encountered a species that looks at your advanced technology and says, 'Thank you for the upgrade.' The Prometheus demonstrated this philosophy by launching a new weapon that the Vorthak had never seen before. Quantum torpedoes that used their own biometallurgy against them, turning their ship's adaptive hulls into weapons of self-destruction. Dr. Kane watched in fascination as Vorthak vessels began imploding, their own technology turned against them by human ingenuity. Rico, do you understand what we're seeing? Humanity didn't just survive the first contact with superior aliens. We evolved beyond them. Engineer Bradley worked frantically to boost their communication systems as the battle raged above them. I'm getting reports from other colonies across the Outer Rim. Similar ships are appearing everywhere the Vorthak attacked. Admiral Stone wasn't alone. Humanity built an entire fleet. The revelation struck War Prime Zelthar like a physical blow. The humans hadn't just reverse-engineered captured Vorthak technology. They had mass-produced it, improved it, and deployed it across their entire defensive network. What the Empire had assumed was a primitive species had been preparing for this moment for decades. Impossible. Zelthar breathed as his tactical displays showed human vessels appearing throughout Vorthak-occupied space. Our intelligence indicated they had no knowledge of our existence. Stone's voice cut through his confusion with terrifying clarity. We've known about your empire for 20 years, Zelthar. Every probe you sent, every accidental first contact, every piece of technology you thought you successfully retrieved. We were watching, learning, and preparing. The final moments of the battle came not with a massive explosion, but with a simple choice. Admiral Stone opened a communication channel to the remaining Vorthak vessels. You have two options, she announced with the calm authority of someone who held all the advantages. Withdraw from human space immediately and never return, or discover what other improvements we've made to your technology. War Prime Zelthar looked at his decimated fleet, at the impossible human vessel that had turned his empire's greatest strength into humanity's weapon, and made the only rational choice available. All Vorthak vessels, withdraw to the Outer Rim. This species is not suitable for harvesting. As the alien fleet retreated, Captain Rico Vasquez emerged from the tunnels to see the UES Prometheus hanging in space like a guardian angel. The impossible had happened. Humanity had not just survived first contact with a superior alien civilization, they had won. Admiral Stone's final transmission reached every human colony across known space. This is Admiral Catherine Stone to all human settlements. The harvest is over. Earth's children are no longer prey. Today we proved that humanity doesn't just survive in the darkness between the stars. We thrive, we adapt, and we overcome. The galaxy had learned a lesson that would echo across the centuries. Never corner humanity because they don't just fight back, they evolve.